Whether you love him or hate him, believe his stories or think that he stretches the truth, it can't be denied that Sammy the Bull Gravano is a captivating storyteller. I interviewed Gravano on several occasions this year. Let's check out some of the highlights from those discussions. And as always, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy mob history.
I think most of the time, if you're in a car or in a club or in a house, there's a cleanup. I mean, I never, beat up a guy and killed him and rustled him and stabbed him and did all these things. I believe that if I had you hit, I'm going to hit you in the head when you're not looking, real quick, hard, boom, you're dead. Wrap you up right away, not a big mess. And no suffering and no pain, no nothing. I wanted to kill you as fast as I know when a guy gets hit in the head, if you find a way to die a humane way, I think that's a humane way. They die instantly. There's no pain, there's no expression on the face, you just die. And the cases that I was involved in, I would want that to happen. I mean, sometimes it can't, but I wasn't into gory shit and stuff like that. I did. I didn't know him personally. The first time I met him, I heard he was a whack job, and he was getting made. And I was in a room in a basement with John Gotti and myself and a whole bunch of other guys were going to get made. And he came in. It's the first time I actually saw him. And John said, "Look at this guy," he says. "Bro, what does he think? This is a biker gang?" He had rings on every single finger, from the thumb all the way across on both hands. He said, "Tell him to go get those rings off his hand. This isn't a biker gang." So I went over to him and I introduced myself to him. I knew he was his brother. He was getting made. And I said, "Listen, bro, take those rings off. Put them in your pocket. Do whatever you want with them. This is a ceremony for you to get made in the Mafia. This isn't a biker gang. Get those rings off." So he did. That was my first actual meeting and conversation with him. And I heard a lot of stories about him. I think he was like a half a serial killer. When he did a murder, he took things. Like if a guy had an earring, he killed the guy, he took the guy's earring and saved it. So he was taking things from dead bodies and saving things. A finger
like
from somebody. That's real creepy. That's, it's one thing you're going to do a piece of work. It's a whole nother thing if you're enjoying it, number one. Number two, because I don't think a lot of hit guys, they don't enjoy doing it, but they do what they got to do. He seemed to enjoy it, and he seemed to, when you're hiding things and keeping memorabilia on somebody you killed, that's weird. And so I didn't have many conversations with him or anything to do with him too much, but he was dangerous. Yes, I knew a lot about him. I met him a bunch of times. We had taken over. When there was the commission case, Carmine Persico wanted to admit that there's a mafia. And, the Ku Klux Klan could admit, all these things could admit, we could admit, and it won't be such a crime. Nobody agreed with him. Me and Frankie the Chico went to Bobby Manna, and we brought that question. John Gotti asked us to go to him. And we went to him, we said, he wants this to happen. What's your opinion, your family? And Bobby says, absolutely and totally not. We don't agree with that. You cannot. You took an oath. You can't admit that there's a mafia. So, and Bobby, when we talked about something, I remember him telling us one time, "Sammy, Frankie, I'm not going to discuss business and business deals. All I discuss is Cosa Nostra. I'm the gonzier. That's all I talk about. I'm not interested in businesses or anything like that. Take it up with somebody else." So he was really strict about the way he was. He was very strong in his crew. I did. He was a mild-mannered guy. I got a couple of stories, quick ones. He was Carlo Gambino's son. Carlo Gambino didn't make any of his kids or anybody. Paul made him. It was his nephew. He made him as a big guy, and then made him as a captain because he had the distributor of the clothing in Manhattan. So to give him some rank against other people who were in that business, he made him a captain. He was a very mild-mannered guy. One time at John's party, John was abusing the fuck out of him. And there was about 20 of us in the bar. And I had walked over and I told him, I said, John, everybody's here. It's your birthday. Everybody's listening to you, bro. The guy's a skipper. He's a captain. You know, come on, go to the bar. It's your birthday. You know, to do this at another time, another place. And he kind of agreed and walked to the bar. Tommy, on the way passing me, he says, Sammy, I'll never forget that. I appreciate that. But he was a mild-mannered guy, more of a racketeer. Wasn't a tough guy at all. He's actually, you know, a lot of people don't notice when me, John Gotti, and Frankie LaCasio got arrested, so did he. He's actually the fourth guy on the indictment. The judge severed his case. It was something about Shylock or something. Severed the case and gave him a separate case. That's why most of the world don't know he was even on that case. But he wasn't a bad guy. You know, sociable guy, racketeer, no tough guy talk or anything like that, you know. But if you just kill one guy after the other, you're going to cause havoc in your family. Fear. These guys are nuts. So
before we go on to talk about a lot of the many murders that they ordered, when they first kind of came to power, did you think they were kind of the right men to run a family? Or did you have those suspicions that they could be a bit kill crazy?
Well, I mean, they had a little bit of a label to be, you know, tough guys, but it's beyond a tough guy. It's a little bit kill crazy. They had a little bit of that reputation, and they used it. They used it to benefit themselves when they were doing things. So a threat from them, people took that serious. So they had a little bit of that reputation. And there's a lot of hits that I know of that they did that were just absolutely insane. And after a while, you knew these guys are super dangerous and out of control. They wrecked that family. They've killed people for no fucking, with some bullshit reasons, because you didn't agree or you didn't want to do something. Really stupid reasons. Garbage guys, legitimate people. They had everybody terrified. So they literally wrecked that family. Not only killed so many different people, but they had everybody shitting in their pants. And I don't blame them. They were tough guys, but you never know why you're going to get hit. I met him a long, long time ago when I met John. I met John in 1977 in Frankie DeChico's After Hour Club. And right after that, I met Gene Gotti. A little time after that, I met Johnny Carneglia. I met most of the guys he was with. From time to time, we bunked into each other. And I was already made. John got made, and we became closer. They came to my father's funeral. A gang of them came down, John and a whole bunch of them. And when my mother passed, same thing happened. So I, through the years, became a little closer and closer, especially when we all became friends of ours. I liked Jeannie a lot. I got along with him real good. I think he was the better part of the Gottis, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Tough guy, good guy, man of his word. So I knew them rather well. Piney was a great guy. You know, he was in the Pizza Connection case originally. He was very tight with the old timers, loved him. He was a lovable guy, really a good guy. I think he got a little simple towards the end. When John was arrested, he called me, and when Frankie was dead, we made him the underboss. The family was vibrating that guys were getting killed. So we wanted him to settle down the old timers, and John made him a captain. I agreed to bring all the old timers in, relax them, and he did that job. At one time, I went partners with Louis DeBono. On the second time, they wanted me to go partners with him again. I didn't want to do it. And he called me in and he says, me and Angelo Ruggiero, he says, Sammy, I got a way where we're going to take the heat off of John. And now John had so much heat on him. I said, okay, how are you going to do that? He said, do you remember that soldier? He was under Ronald Reagan. I can't think of his name right now. North, Oliver North. He was a colonel. He was involved in all that political stuff. He said, if we kill him, the tension's going to go over there. So I want to give you the contract to kill him. You want me to kill a soldier? I think it was a colonel, Colonel North. He said, yeah. So I says, all right, I'll work on it. And as I was walking out with Angelo started laughing. He said, you're going to go kill him? I said, fuck no. I'm not going to do that, but I'm appeasing him. I'll just tell him I'm working on it. I can't get it done, but I'm not going to kill him. That's crazy to take the heat off for John. This guy, I'm not going to kill this guy. For what? It don't even make sense. So he was that type of guy, but I didn't want to insult him. And he was the underboss at that time after Frankie, and I respected him. I liked him. He was part of the whole fist. He joined us very early in the game when we were talking about killing Paul. He joined us. And he was the guy who was going to appease the old timers. That's what we needed him for. I liked Benny a lot. He was a good guy. There were so many things. I mean, I had so many meetings with him to send messages to Chin, Gigante. I had some private meetings with Chin myself, different situations. But most of my meetings were through Benny. You know, I would come to them. The family in Jersey, the Cavalcanti family, they had a problem. We had one of their guys, a maid guy. I can't think of his name. Maybe you'll think of it when as I'm going. He wouldn't come in no more. And they were asking for help to kill him. They came to me and they asked me for help to kill him. Let's bring this guy in and kill him. I couldn't get him in either. Me and him didn't get along. But I did have a guy who's in Coney Island who was very friendly with this guy, and he was friendly with me. And I talked with him. I called him in. He was actually working for me in my construction company for a while, the work I was doing in Coney Island. He was very strong in Coney Island. And I asked him if I have a problem with this guy, his friend, could he help me? And he said yes. I mean, I know he's on his farm in Jersey. He's not coming in. But I can go to the farm. If you want me to take him out, I will take him out. Now, he was with Chin. I couldn't make him do that. So I went to Benny and I said, your guy, and I can't think of his name. I'm sorry, but I can't think of his name. And I said, I want to use your guy. He's a Coney Island guy. He works for me in construction. A great guy. And he's willing to help me take him out. And I'm helping the Cavalcanti family with this problem. Benny went to Chin. Then Benny called me down. I went and see him. And he said, listen, if you guys have a problem with him, he's willing to help you guys. But fuck the Cavalcanti family. We were against making this guy. They made him. Now it's their problem. Fuck them. I'm not going to allow the kid to help you. Kill him. That's their problem. It's not that he wouldn't help us or he wouldn't use the kid. He just wouldn't allow it to help them. And so there's all kinds of different things. So yeah, Benny Eggs, I did. There was so many things.
I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.